The flickering lamplight danced in the eyes of the gathered women, their faces etched with worry and defiance as they hatched a plan to stand up to the ruthless Heraldar Ratan Singh. Their story is one of courage, solidarity, and the unbreakable spirit of women. The scene opens at the fish landing point where a group of women are arranging their catch for the day. But their usual banter and camaraderie are absent. They are visibly anxious, their eyes darting around as if expecting something or someone unpleasant. Suddenly, a loud roar cuts through the air, signaling the arrival of Heraldar Ratan Singh. The sound of his powerful motorcycle engine silencing the crowd as he swaggers towards them, his imposing corpulent frame casting a large shadow over the cowering women, his bloodshot eyes scanning them like a predator sizing up its prey. They tremble in his presence, knowing all too well the trouble he brings. Ratan stops before an elderly woman named Sabitri Masi, who offers him a small basket of fish from her meager catch. But instead of showing any gratitude or respect for her hard work, Ratan cruelly overturns her basket, sending the fish tumbling into the muddy water. The sight of her precious catch being wasted away into the muck fills Sabitri's with despair, her wrinkled hands shaking as she tries to salvage what she can. The other women gasp in horror and anguish at the heartless act, yet none dare speak out against Ratan, fearing his wrath. Sabitri, overcome with grief and humiliation, collapses on the ground, her body racked with sobs. The villagers, helpless and enraged, can only watch in silence as Ratan, satisfied with his cruel display of power, walks away, leaving behind a trail of destruction and misery. Parvati, a young widow with a small child named Apu slung on her back, witnesses this entire harrowing scene, her heart breaking at the sight of Sabitri's tearful face and the ruined fish at their feet. As she makes her way home, the image of the elderly woman's despair lingers in her mind, kindling a growing determination within her to take action against the oppressive rat. That night, as Parvati cradles her sleeping son, she finds herself unable to rest. The events of the day replaying in her mind like a tormenting film. She knows she must do something, anything, to prevent her son Apu from growing up under the oppressive thumb of Ratan and his ilk. The thought of her son facing the same fate as the other village boys, forced into labor or worse, is unbearable. And so, driven by maternal instinct and a burgeoning sense of justice, Parvati rises from her slumber and resolves to confront Ratan, even if it means standing alone. As the first rays of dawn peek through the gaps in her hut's bamboo walls, Parvati rises, her face set with newfound resolve. The injustice inflicted upon Savitri and the other villagers by the ruthless Ratan gnawing at her conscience. She knows she can't stand idly by any longer. Her son's future, her own dignity, and the honor of the village women are at stake. Quietly, she dresseth, her movements purposeful, her eyes gleaming with determination. She won't be cowed by Ratan or anyone else. Stepping out of her hut, she heads toward the river, where the women of the village gather every morning to collect water. As she joins them, she greets them with a soft smile, her face betraying none of the turmoil within. Once the ritualistic exchange of greetings and news is done, Parvati turns to the others, her voice ringing with newfound strength. She asks them a simple yet profound question. How long will we endure this tyranny? Her words hanging in the air, challenging the prevailing apathy. The women exchange nervous glances. They understand Parvati's unspoken question. They, too, are tired of living in fear of Ratan and his cronies. But they also know the danger of speaking out. One woman, her face lined with years of worry, voices their collective fear. What use are we? We have no power to fight back. If we anger Ratan, he will destroy our lives. Her words echoing the sentiments of the others. Yet Parvati remains undeterred. She knows that change can only come when they unite and stand up for themselves. Gazing at the frightened faces around her, she says, "If we don't fight, who will protect us? Our children? Our families? Our honor? It is time we stood up for ourselves. If not for ourselves, then for our next generation. We must show them that we are not doormats to be walked upon." Her words striking a chord of recognition in the hearts of the women. Encouraged by Parvati's impassioned plea, they nod their heads in agreement, finding strength in their shared purpose. However, fear still lingers in their eyes. Just as Parvati is about to say something, the sound of a motorcycle engine roars in the distance, signaling Ratten's approach. They all freeze, their faces paling with fear. They know that if Rattan overhears their conversation, they will face dire consequences. Quickly, Parvati diverts their attention back to their daily task, pretending as if nothing had transpired. The women pretend to collect water, hoping that Rattan won't suspect anything as Rattan rides past, his sharp eyes missing nothing. The women hold their breath. When he disappears from sight, they let out a collective sigh of relief. Parvati, her gaze fixed on the rippling water, knows that their battle with Rattan has just begun. The fear in the eyes of the women is understandable. Rattan's power over them is deeply ingrained, fostered by years of oppression and enforced compliance. But Parvati, too, was once like them, afraid and unsure. However, the desperate pleas of Savitri and the haunting image of her ruined fish stirred something primal within Parvati. A fierce determination to protect her son and the other villagers from Rattan's tyranny. Her journey from a timid village woman to a beacon of hope. And resistance is a testament to the transformative power of motherhood and the indomitable spirit of those who stand up against oppression. Now, under the cloak of darkness, Parvati sets out on her mission to rally the villagers. The safety of nighttime gives her the courage to visit each house, each visit being a step closer to igniting a flame of rebellion against Rattan. Her words echoing in the quiet huts, stirring emotions that have been dormant for far too long. She asks them, if not for ourselves, then for our children. Can we bear to see them suffer the indignities we have endured? Her words strike a responsive chord, awakening a shared grief and determination in their eyes. As Parvati continues her mission, the night deepens, the darkness mirroring the turmoil in their hearts and the strength growing in their spirits. She visits Kamala, another villager whose son has suffered at the hands of Rattan and his men. Touching Kamala's arm, Parvati says softly, "Kamala, isn't it enough now? How much longer must we endure this pain? Don't you want your daughter to grow up with dignity, to have a better life than ours?" Her words hang in the air, resonating with the pain and longing in Kamala's heart. Kamala looks down at her hands, the roughened skin, a testament to years of hard work and struggle. She thinks of her daughter, her face lighting up with a smile. Yes, she wants her daughter to have a better life, to be treated with respect, tears welling up in her eyes. She nods slowly, her voice hoarse with emotion. Yes, Parvati, I want my daughter to have a better life. Her words, a quiet vow, a promise to herself and to her daughter. As the first rays of dawn peek through the cracks in the walls, Parvati returns home, her heart filled with hope. The support she has received from the villagers, especially from Kamala, gives her strength. She knows that she is not alone in this fight. On another night, guided by the dim lantern light, Parvati stands before about 15 to 20 women at the edge of the village by a large old tree. Their faces, etched with worry and defiance, are illuminated by the flickering flames as they hatch a plan to stand up to the ruthless Heraldar Ratan Singh. They are united now, their individual fears overshadowed by their collective cause, ready to fight for a better life, free from the shackles of oppression and abuse. Thus, under the cover of darkness, the women of the village prepare to resist, their spirits bolstered by unity and resolve. Their story, a testament to the power of collective action and the indomitable spirit of women. This is their story. A story of courage, solidarity, and resistance. And their fight against Ratan has just begun. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more romantic stories like this. I'll see you again in another new video. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye for now, and thank you.